Bressman that we do approve Resolution 15-R-109 as presented. Any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Councilman Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhard.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Resolution 15-R-110. By title only, please.
Yes, Your Honor. 15R110, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for professional engineering services as requested on an as-needed basis by the Development and Engineering Services Department with Choice 1 Engineering as the best proposal at the rate and fee schedule as submitted with their statement of qualifications.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. With the elimination of the city engineer position as part of our 2016 budget, a request for proposals was issued for the purpose of identifying a consulting engineering company to provide professional engineering services to the city. Statements of qualifications were submitted by 3 firms on December 3rd. Rob Cron and I interviewed the 3 firms and recommend Choice 1 Engineering as the firm that best meets the technical needs of the city.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 15R-110.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Bressman, second by Councilman Ehlers, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-110. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Councilman Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhard.
Yes.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-111 by title only.
15R111, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a mutual aid agreement with the Butler Township Police Department.
Thank you. Mr. Cruz?
Thank you, Your Honor. During 2014, the city and township police departments provided mutual aid to one another on 139 occasions. The city of Vandalia and Butler Township are both parties to a multi-county, multi-jurisdictional Montgomery County mutual aid agreement that has been in place since 1989. However, Chief Knight and Chief Cressy are both uncomfortable with the vague language in that 26-year-old agreement. In order to better define policies and procedures to be followed during mutual aid responses, a separate agreement between the city of Vandalia and Butler Township has been developed. The Butler Township trustees reviewed and approved this mutual aid agreement at their November 23rd meeting.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 15-R-111.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhard, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-111 as presented. Any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhard.
Yes.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. There are no ordinances in the first reading, and that brings us to ordinances in their second reading, beginning with Ordinance 15-22. By title only, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Ordinance 15-22. An ordinance providing that the City of Vandalia will pick up the statutorily required employee contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the full-time employees of the City of Vandalia pursuant to IRC Section 414, lowercase h, 2.
Mr. Grizzi.
Thank you, Your Honor. Back in 2007, the city adopted an ordinance regarding certain salary reduction and fringe benefit plans for required employee and elected official contributions to the Ohio Public Employee Retirement System. After consultation with OPRS officials, it is necessary to update that legislation. In order to do so, the previous ordinance needs to be repealed and separate ordinances adopted for each plan. So this first ordinance authorizes the city to pick up the employee's required OPERS contributions on a pre-tax basis. Under the salary reduction plan, the employee contribution is paid by the city, and the employee's gross salary is then reduced by the amount of that contribution. There is no cost to the city to implement this plan.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in second reading, I will open up a public hearing. And so if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment about this ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and give us your comment? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 15-22 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve ordinance 15-22 in its second reading. Any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilman Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Bressman,
Yes.
Councilman Ayers,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 15-22. By title only.
Ordinance 15-23. Ordinance that the City of Vandalia will pick up the statutorily required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the elected officials of the City of Vandalia pursuant to IRC Section 414, lowercase h, 2.
Thank you. And I did make a mistake, and I apologize for that. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this second ordinance does authorize the city to pick up the elected officials' required OPRS contributions. Under this fringe benefit plan, the elected official contribution is paid by the city as a fringe benefit.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open up a public hearing so that if there's anyone in the audience that would like to make comment, please come up to our podium, state your name and address for our records, and give us your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I move that we approve ordinance 15-23 on its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayler, second by Councilman Bressman, that we do approve ordinance 15-23 in its second reading. Any comments? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Councilman Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Bressman,
Yes.
Councilman Ayers,
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 15-24 by title only, please.
Ordinance 1524, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 07-27 regarding certain pickups under salary reduction and fringe benefit plans.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this third ordinance does repeal ordinance 07-027, which established our salary reduction and fringe benefit plans regarding required contributions to the Ohio Public Employee Retirement System. As I indicated earlier, after consultation with OPRS officials, it's necessary to update that legislation. In order to do so, in addition to the two previous ordinances that Council just adopted, this ordinance needs to be repealed. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, since this is an ordinance in its second reading, I will open up a public hearing so that if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and provide your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve ordinance 15-24 in its second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhard, second by Councilman Bressman, that we do approve ordinance 15-24 in its second reading. Any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Councilman Ayers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhard.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have ordinance 15-26 in its second reading. By title only, please.
Ordinance 15-26, an ordinance amending section 234.07A5 of the Vandalia Codified Ordinances, allowing the city manager or finance director to issue non-binding declarations of official intent to secure tax-exempt bond financing for certain eligible projects.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Federal tax rules provide that prior to the city securing reimbursement bonds for certain eligible projects, a declaration of official intent must first be executed. The issuance of a declaration of official intent does not obligate the city to issue debt, but it does allow the city to reimburse itself with funds from the note issuance for expenses already incurred for that project. The city's existing ordinance pertaining to the issuance of a declaration of official intent only apply to certain projects, those being the Justice Center, the Municipal Building, and the Recreation Center. This ordinance would expand that authority to include any other capital expenditure that the city manager or director of finance determines may be appropriate for the issuance of tax-exempt reimbursement bonds.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 15-26 in the second reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Gerhardt, that we do approve ordinance 15-26 in its second reading. Any comments? Please call the roll.
We have to have a public hearing.
Ooh, I forgot the public hearing. Sorry. How far back do we have to go?
You can do it right now.
Oh, okay. Since this is an ordinance in second reading, we have to have a public hearing. And so if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment, we just ask that you come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and state your comment. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing.
Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Councilman Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhardt.
Yes.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Okay. We have an emergency ordinance this evening, and that's 15-25. Would you read it by title only, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ordinance 1525, an ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during the calendar year ending December 31st, 2015, and amending Ordinance 14-34 as an emergency.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. This year-end supplemental appropriation ordinance would amend 2015 appropriations as follows. In the general fund, an additional $300,000, and that is for the refund of estimated income taxes that have already been paid. An additional $1,200 for additional funds necessary for music entertainment at the farmers market. In the Stone Quarry Crossings TIF fund, an additional $8,500. That's for expenses related to the TIF on the calculated amount due to the Vandalia Butler schools. And we also have additional appropriations from various funds from which employees are paid, so that each fund pays its share of our upcoming 27th pay. In the street fund, $16,000. In the computer legal research fund, $2,500. In the stormwater special revenue fund, $5,000. In the court special projects revenue fund, $3,000. In the water fund, $12,500. And in the sewer fund, $12,000.
Thank you. Since this is an ordinance listed as an emergency, I will open it up for a public hearing. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make comment about this emergency ordinance, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion we approve ordinance 15-25 in emergency.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Bressman, second by Councilman Gerhardt, that we do approve the emergency ordinance 15-25. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Councilman Bressman.
Yes.
Councilman Ehlers.
Yes.
Councilman Blakesley.
Yes.
Councilman Gerhardt.
Yes.
Councilman Lewis. Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. We have no reports from boards and commissions tonight. However, we do have the bill listing for November 2015 in the amount of $3,573.29. Any comment? Seeing none, that begins then with our council comments, starting with Mr. Schaefer.
I have no comments tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Just a couple quick items.
Sure.
First, I'd like to congratulate the staff at Castle Hills Golf Course. They were voted the best golf course in Dayton by Dayton.com. They outpaced both Yankee Trace and NCR Country Club, so it's again, quite an honor for Castle Hills Golf Course. We'd like to remind council that city offices are going to be closed next Thursday and Friday for the Christmas holiday. And if anybody was through the intersection today at Northwoods and I-75, that traffic signal was operational. I know it was at 7:30 this morning when I drove by, so that is great news. That's been a long-awaited project. And finally, I'd just like to thank Mr. Brusman for his years of service to council, although it's only been a year and a half. But again, I appreciate your time, and I wish you well in retirement.
Thank
You are retiring, correct?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll start out tonight with Councilman Blakesley.
Well, Councilman Brusman, Dave Jr., lover of the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
I agree there, even though I'm a Browns fan at heart. But it's been a great honor and a pleasure to serve with you, sir. And also someone I could call a friend.
Oh, yes.
When I think of your service on council, there are several words or thoughts that come to mind. One is integrity. You've always maintained integrity and on this council. You've been a voice of reason. There's been many times where there's been a subject come up, and out of nowhere, there's that voice of reason that comes out, and wow, why didn't I think of that? How eloquent. And you've been dedicated to your community. There's no doubt about that, and through the passion, we've seen that among the years on council. And you've been a fine servant of the citizenry as well, and I think that very much shows. Best wishes and endeavors in the future, and my gosh, you do sport a bow tie very well. Best wishes to you, sir.
All right.
Councilman Lewis.
I don't want to belabor the point, but Mike said something that I wanted to say, and that was that I consider Dave Brusman my friend before and during the last 10 years and always after. And I do appreciate his integrity and candor. And I think most importantly, the thing that I'm going to take from your service, Dave, is you speak less and you listen more. And you always were tuned in, and you weren't the boisterous up here, but by golly, you listened and you listened to the people, and I hope I've learned a lesson. Thanks very, very much for everything.
Thank you.
One other item, I'd also like to excuse Candace Farce from tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we excuse Vice Mayor Farce from tonight's meeting and our workshops. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, Councilman Ehlers.
Just a few brief words for Dave. I really didn't know Dave until I was elected on City Council 4 years ago, and since then he's been my roommate up here, studying with me side by side, and I've learned a lot, and we've talked a lot, and I now consider him a true friend. So in the future, we want you to come visit us. You have to sit out there. When you come to the podium, you have to say your name and your address so we know who the hell we're talking to. But don't be a stranger.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Gerhardt.
I'm going to miss my partner in crime up here. I didn't know Dave either. He knows how I feel about him as a friend. He is truly a good person. He's been a good councilman, but up and all, definitely. And a lot of it stems from his family who's out here. He comes from a great family. His mom and dad, his wife, his kids, all excellent. People, good role models, for sure. I consider Dave a great friend now. And the city will miss your input. Hopefully we can get some common sense, business-minded stuff done still. People can have a little bit of a sign variance if they need it.
Oh, yeah. I'll be
Stuff like
watching
that. So we're going to miss you a lot.
Thank
But I'll still be your friend forever.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's all.
Thank you. I'm going to take my turn right now, and then I'm going to let you have the last word. How's that? I've known you for a long, long time, and I've seen you grow, and I can remember you on the wrestling mats. And what you did there was a little bit like what you've done here, and that is I always looked at wrestling, and I like the sport, as an individual but a team effort at the same time, and that's exactly what you have done for us. You have spoken when you needed to speak, and it was always good advice for all of us, and yet you were always a team member here too. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for us here, and for this, and which really means you've done a lot for Vandalia.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Your turn.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll keep it brief because I know my grandson is probably waiting for a couple cookies. First of all, the bow tie. My wife Julie says I'm a procrastinator, and probably for 12 years I was going to wear a bow tie. So here it is, last meeting. And I want to thank everybody for the proclamation, for your comments. I'm going to tell you my viewpoint, and I've been thinking about this, and I keep coming back to this. I feel like I'm the least among you, and that's not, I'm not trying to put myself down. It's just that the way I see your contributions, your intelligence, your dedication, the team spirit, I feel I'm among superstars here. And I have all the confidence that this culture that has been set, regardless if I'm here or not, is going to continue. And I look forward to seeing Council Member-elect Herb's contribution. I think you're going to fit right in. So I'm not gone completely. I'll be keeping an eye on everybody. But I appreciate your comments. It's been a pleasure, and I want to just say again that I think I've received so much more than what I've given out, and it's been a good run. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, it's not over this evening for you, you know that, and we will have a reception, and everybody that's here is certainly invited to come and wish them well. So with that, meeting is adjourned.